Hello.
Hello, Comet.
Kermit the Frog here. Are you ready to rumble?
Yeah,
Me
let's
too.
do it.
Let's do it. Welcome back to another episode of J&T. That's how it be. I am not Kermit the Frog. I am
What?
Jonah.
Then who are you?
I am Jonah.
Oh, okay. I thought you were just some freak.
I mean, I am, but.
Yep.
Yup.
Oh boy.
Yup. Yup. Yup.
Ain't wrong about that.
Yup.
So, huh? What?
You were like quietly murmuring in the mic, so I was like, saying something there?
Yeah, so today we're talking about tech. And
Tech.
specifically what we think technology will be in the next 10 years.
10 years, baby. That's 5 and 5.
My Wi-Fi is not working too well. Uh-oh. Oh, what? Huh?
Did you try turning it off and turning it back on again?
Obviously not, because I'm still on this call.
That's true. Yeah.
Okay.
Sweet.
So, what we think tech will be in the next 10 years.
Yeah.
Technology has
Now-
expanded a lot in
Yeah.
the next 10 years.
It's going to. It's going to go boom. Even though it's already gone boom in the last 10 years.
Yeah.
We were actually, before this video, we were looking at a list of stuff that's like 10 years old technology.
Mm-hmm.
Snapchat came out March of 2011. Snapchat is 10 years old. 4G came out in 2010.
Yeah, that's insane.
What month was it? February, right?
I think so.
That's almost 12 years that 4G has been around, and we're just now getting to 5G.
Yeah. The Oculus came out in 2012.
That's
almost
insane.
10 years.
That's crazy. Like, that makes me feel so old.
Yeah.
If that didn't
iPad came out in 2010. January 2010.
That's insane. The iPod Touch, first generation.
Oh my gosh.
Came out the same year I was born. The iPod Touch, first generation, is 20 years old. 20. That's insane. That blows my mind. Like,
Do you know what else came out in 2010?
What?
Instagram.
I knew Instagram was older than Snapchat, but that's still just, like, crazy to me. Like, I just can't believe that.
Yeah, I feel old and I really shouldn't be.
Yeah. It's just, that's just crazy. I just don't know.
Yeah, when did 5G come out? Was that last year or has it been 2 years?
Basically, I don't know. Look it up. We'll look it up real quick. When did
Because it's been
5G?
recently. I know that.
It was pretty recent. It technically, so 5G home internet service began October 1st, 2018. But the like ultra wideband, which basically means like 5G availability for like phones and stuff, was
that's pretty much what I'm talking about.
April 3rd, 2019.
Yeah, so very recently.
Yeah.
Well, not very recently, but
like the problem was 5G came out at that time, but at that time most phones did not have 5G compatibility yet.
Yeah.
So
now we're getting into the point where
most phones now have 5G, but people.
I think there's some Galaxy phones that don't have it, but that's about it.
Yeah, the 5G has been basically, it really started becoming a thing probably around COVID. Is really when it started becoming a thing.
Like last year, kind of.
Right. And that's when like manufacturing and all that halted. So it's been a progress to really implement 5G. So yes, 5G has been around for over 2 years now, but it's taken some time to really find its roots and
Yeah.
stuff.
I'd say in the next 2 years, everything will have 5G that has like sub S on it.
Yeah.
Easily in the next 2 years.
Agreed.
Okay. So if you would look at, let me see, let me actually look this up before I talk about it.
Yeah.
So if you would go into like a vehicle and do like what tech is in cars compared to now from like 10 years ago, it's insane.
Yeah.
Like in
10 years ago, most cars didn't have like the touch screens on them.
yeah,
10 years ago, we didn't have like the mirrors that can sense stuff, the automatic cruise control that like looks at the vehicles in front of you. We didn't have any of that.
yeah,
Um, even like the eco mode on vehicles has been around for a while. Um,
yeah,
that didn't start really becoming anything until 2008, 2009. At least for a lot of cars.
yeah.
And then, man, there's more I want to say. Ugh, there's other stuff. We
Mm,
have stuff now where like if you hold down the brake pedal at like a red light, like you can take your foot off and it'll just keep you there until you hit the gas. We have engines now that will shut down, like they'll literally stop
I hate that.
when you. I don't like it either. I don't think it's good for the engine, but they'll literally stop running when you stop at a red light, and then won't start again until you hit the gas pedal.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
And then we have, I don't know if all electric cars were here 10 years ago. Were they?
Yeah,
I
they were.
forget.
Well, no. I think there were a
Um,
couple, but they were like it was like the Nissan Leaf,
yeah,
like little just things here and there, that people thought were
yeah.
kind of cool but weird.
The Leaf? No,
No,
no.
it's an ugly
I
car.
hate, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that came out
my uncle
in
has one.
2011. That came out in
Yeah,
2011.
there you go. That's what I thought. Yeah.
10 years ago.
Yep. Exactly. So,
Like they were
and
just starting
that
electric
was
cars.
and they weren't like how EVs are now. They're nothing like how they are
Oh
now.
no,
Um,
no.
but like Prius, the big thing then was like everybody loved the Prius because it was a hybrid where it
Yeah,
would get like 50 miles per gallon, and people are like,
yeah.
"Well, that's super cool," even
Yeah,
though
I'm seeing
it's
a lot of hybrids on here.
ugly and quiet. And sorry if you drive a Prius. Toyota, sponsor us, Toyota.
I
As we
actually
talk
have a
trash,
Toyota.
about your Prius.
Yeah, your Prius is no. Trucks, okay.
Yeah,
Okay, but I have to say that because I drive a Toyota, so
yeah. I would drive a Toyota 86.
fair enough.
Yeah, it's similar to a BRZ, so
I would drive a Toyota Supra.
or a Supra.
Please,
Yes, I would
please
also drive a
give me
Supra.
one, please.
Yeah,
Please. I would
an
get in
86
so much
is
trouble with it.
more in my price range than a Supra, but
Dude, I don't want this to turn into a call podcast right now.
no, let's not. Let's just
But I looked up a Toyota Prius, not Prius.
Supra.
Yeah, like a couple of days ago, maybe last week,
Yeah,
and the 2022 ones look so nice.
did they update the design?
Maybe a little bit. Um, let me try and share my screen.
I
That's
can.
not what I
I'm
wanted.
searching it right now. You're good.
Okay,
Uh,
but I selected the nitro yellow
oh, I see. Yep.
with black trim.
Ooh.
Yeah, look at those wheels too. Like
Hmm.
it looks really good.
Yeah. Yeah, they definitely changed a
I
little bit.
thoroughly like it.
I
Yeah,
I'm
it's not a bunch, but
no.
it's
I like
nice.
that it's a straight six. I think that's kind of cool.
Oh yeah. Uh, the lowest MSRP is 43
It's actually not bad, like at all. That's really not bad.
for that car. Yeah,
That's not
for it
terrible.
being a new car, a Toyota.
Right.
for that.
It's a sport. It's a sport
And
car. Now I'm sure insurance
yeah,
on it is crazy, but
oh yeah, I don't want to think about insurance. And
yeah.
okay, the
But you can mod
MPG.
them. You can mod them really good.
Oh my gosh, yes. I would love the mod one.
Oh yeah,
Literally, the MPG is 25 to 32.
yeah. If you drive,
That's
if you never drive it like a sports vehicle, then yes.
yeah, that's way better than my truck.
Yeah, because it's a truck.
Like that's insane. But I know, but this is a sports car though. Like
Yeah.
typically they get about the same.
Well, here's the thing. It depends. So like cars like that are like turbocharged, if you keep the RPMs low, you never really trigger those turbochargers, so you're never really using that much gas, and they're
Yeah.
light, so that's why they can get good MPG. It's just when you push them and that turbo kicks in,
Yeah.
forget MPG, forget about it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But I really want to know about like the tech that's in this thing. Like
Oh yeah.
it obviously comes with like Sirius XM because everything comes with Sirius XM in
Oh
the
yeah.
car right now.
Well, and it's pretty
I had to
serious.
put mine in. I hate you. I literally had to put Sirius XM in my truck. It didn't come stock with that. I had to do it. And you've seen my
Yeah.
radio in my truck.
Yes.
It's
That
literally
setup. Yes.
it literally has tape around it because I broke the clips.
Yeah.
But it's not duct tape.
I know.
It's not.
Sad.
Well, it didn't work actually because of the material.
Yeah.
So I had to use electrical tape.
Electrical tape. It's still tape. The same premise.
I know. Whatever. That's not. But,
You brought it
so what
up
do you
this time.
think? Yeah, I did.
Yep.
My fault.
Yep.
So what do you think will happen in the next 10 years?
All right, next 10 years. Well, I know there's been a few projects by things like Apple. Off and on, I've heard stuff about the Apple glasses,
Yeah.
where you're supposed to
Like
like put,
Tony Stark ones kind
yeah,
of.
basically like you put them on and you look at your iPhone, and the glasses will like stuff will like basically pop up like holographically almost in a way, like 3D, which is super cool. I don't know.
You
I don't know if
have you
that.
ever seen the commercial that's like this happened a while ago where it's like there was a projector that would go on your skin that's like your phone.
Yeah,
Have you did you know that was fake? 100% fake?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah,
Yeah, like I
yeah,
wonder if that will
because
actually happen.
that didn't
Probably not
gain
in the
any.
next 10 years,
Probably not. Yeah, it just
but I'm wondering
if
if
it
that will
wasn't fake, it
actually
would have
happen.
gained a lot more traction. So, but
Yeah, like
yeah,
people actually thought it was real
yeah,
because technology has changed so much.
right, yeah. People are just
I'm
like, oh my
interested to see
gosh,
if it'll actually happen.
yeah.
I know.
But the as far as the Apple glasses go, if Apple decides to like keep working on that, I think that could come out in the next 10 years. The way I've seen augmented
Yeah,
reality work on iPhones, like now, and my iPhone 11 can use augmented reality. It's pretty cool stuff. Like,
yeah,
it's super dope. Like, you can just put objects, your phone can detect, like, flat surfaces, open areas. It can detect that stuff and then put objects in it. Like, that's
yeah,
so cool. That's super cool, and the same premise with the glasses, except you're wearing the glasses, um, and so I really think that's a very much a possible reality. I think
oh
they're
yeah,
just trying to figure out how to get that to work because like you need the processor, you need graphics, you need a power source, a way to charge them. Like there's just a lot of hard things to put when you're trying to just get like simple glasses. So
yeah.
if they continue
It's
with that
crazy.
project, I think that would come out in the next 10 years for sure. Um, there's been rumors about an Apple car.
Yeah, I saw that
Um,
the other day, and
yeah,
I was confused, and I didn't know if it was real, so I
there's a
didn't
lot
look
of
too much.
there's a lot of rumors. There's no actual, people have done like fake renders and stuff, but there's no actual designed prototype or anything like that yet. But
I I literally just looked up Apple Call.
there's some funny stuff, honestly. There's some interesting stuff.
Some
Yeah.
of them look like Tesla a little bit.
Yes. Yeah. They
Kind of
it
looks like that's what they're modeling off of,
well, this
and
is what here's the
they
thing.
think,
Every car, every like new like EV like prototype is starting to look like these. So,
yeah.
yeah.
I'm interested to see what will come of that
Yeah.
because I so every time I think of Apple, I always go to the phone. Like that's what they're known for. They're not really known for much else.
I mean,
And they're also known for being
MacBooks.
very, very expensive.
Yes. Apple tax. Woo.
Yeah. So if they come out with a car, I don't want to know how much that's going to be.
You're going to break the bank, son. You're going to break the
Literally,
bank, honestly.
it,
Like,
it will probably be as much as a house, to
right.
be honest.
Yeah. Now, what I've heard is that Apple has not done a lot of development. Like, they started this project like a long time ago, but they haven't. What I've heard is much development hasn't happened because they've been more
Yeah.
focused on putting their software in a bunch of cars instead of actually
Oh,
making a car itself. So that's why so many cars these days have like Apple CarPlay and stuff in them
yeah. So
because
have
yeah,
you seen like the inside of the Ram TRX?
yes, yeah,
So for the people that don't know that, like Ram came out with the TRX, which is literally a truck that has a Hellcat powered engine in it, which is awesome. But the amount of tech that's inside of it is insane.
yeah,
It has a screen that's literally bigger than an iPad
yeah,
in the center of it, and you can make it like split, so you can have like the top be like navigation, bottom be like music or something like that.
yep,
And for your like to see like your speed and stuff like that, there's a screen right there, and you can literally change like the suspension on it, like Baja and stuff like that. And there's so much stuff on there.
yeah,
Like to think that's in a vehicle,
right.
like that's crazy.
And in the past year, we've had SpaceX with Elon Musk
Yeah,
test several rockets. We've had Jeff Bezos go to space in his blue, what's it called, Blue Origin or something like that. He's
I
been
forget.
he went to space. He just sent people, a couple of people, like the oldest man into space now.
Huh?
He was a Star Trek actor, but like literally this past week, I think, um,
I didn't know
they
that.
went on a quick trip up into space and then back down. So I'm pretty sure he's like 80 years old or something like that. But he's
Wow,
pretty old. But he is now technically the oldest man to be in space, which is pretty dope. Uh,
that's cool.
yeah. But yeah, and that's becoming a thing now. So not quite maybe in 10 years, but it's gonna be soon to where people can just take trips to space. Now they'll be expensive, but like
Oh
you
yeah,
could. Now, I also saw this 2 days ago. Crazy stuff. They are currently, there's an area south in southern Israel, I think, that is similar to the terrain on Mars. And they have people like living there, like with spacesuits and stuff, like simulating what it would be like to start a colony on Mars. That's
huh?
insane. Um,
I
so
honestly don't know how I feel about that, to
yeah,
be honest.
I it's weird. I heard. I also
I
saw
think it's
like
too early to tell.
a professional or an expert or something stated that the first person on Mars has already been born.
Huh?
Wrap your mind around that. Wrap your mind around that. Like in like 40ish to 50ish years, we might have people on Mars. That's what they're
Hmm.
saying essentially. Now, do I believe that? Eh, maybe.
I
But
so I know things have progressed a lot,
yeah,
but there has to be a point where things slow down.
yeah. And I think they will.
And
I think They will.
Yes. And like the government puts laws into tech. Like, what point do you think we will get to where laws can't keep up with tech and something bad is going to happen?
I don't know.
Like,
Ask Elon Musk.
like
Yeah.
so Elon is doing is it the
SpaceX.
Boeing company?
He's
No, is it the Boeing company that's doing the tunnel thing?
yeah. So he has a Hyperloop company. He has Tesla. He has
Yes,
SpaceX.
Hyperloop.
So yeah,
So with Hyperloop, I don't know if this is him, but there's a track that's literally, I don't know if it's like floating or if it's like magnets or something, so there's no like friction,
basically is
and
what it
it's like
is.
vacuum sealed
Yes.
and it goes super fast. Like,
Yeah. Seven. I think it's 700 plus
so
miles an hour.
yeah, so if anything goes wrong with that, everyone's dead. And it
Everyone in the
would be
loop is dead.
very, yeah.
Yeah.
And everyone, or even to fix that, would be very expensive. And how fast do you think they're gonna do that? They can't even fix the roads that we have now. Like,
You know, that's and here's the thing
really?
is um SpaceX, the Hyperloop, Tesla. The thing is those are all private owned. They're not
Yeah,
publicly owned. So if something were to go wrong, it would be whatever company that is, it'd be their responsibility to fix it.
yeah,
Unless the government actually turned it into public transportation. And had to like
yeah.
or what might happen is the government might have some uh part in it, like maybe
Partnership with it
maybe
or
yes,
something.
like some taxes and stuff would go through them. um
Yeah,
but it might not be their responsibility to fix necessarily because it's a private owned company that's
yeah,
doing this. So like you talk about metro stations and stuff, those are government owned, the government sanctioned,
yeah, yeah.
government built, the government literally built those. This hyperloop, like I'm not sure that the government is actually like funding this or actually like
I
doing
don't
it.
think
Like
so.
this all might be just Elon Musk, like straight up. So
I wouldn't be
if
surprised.
something goes wrong, it's like it could be put on him. So I think it is hopeful in everybody's interest that nothing would go wrong. Now,
Yeah,
everything. I'm gonna sound like Plato for a second. Everything
everything
is
bad could go
everything
wrong.
breaks. Everything corrodes. Eventually things break. It's just the
Yeah.
way it is.
Oh yeah.
You know, maybe it'll take 100 years to break the hyperloop, but when it does, it will, and
Maybe.
that's you will. Yeah, I mean, if you maintain it right,
Yeah. I
but
think as long as you maintain it and if you think something's wrong, check and recheck it.
right,
Like,
yeah,
I I think it could go right
yeah.
if they do it correctly.
I went to Washington D.C. recently, and we went to the Air and Space Museum, and there was a video
Yep.
about the Challenger accident that happened. I think it was the Challenger where it went up and it had these people in it and it exploded. It was really sad. It was like a tragedy.
Oh,
Um, but basically, what happened was NASA, basically these O rings, they like filter like certain amount of pressure that can go in between stuff. Well,
yeah.
right before launch, one of these O rings failed. NASA saw something was wrong, but wasn't sure what it was, and said the launch was good anyways, and
Yeah,
sent them up,
that's the thing.
and they
Like,
exploded in a fireball.
yeah, like if tech is going to increase a lot, people need to be aware of that.
Yeah,
Like, as things progress with like
right,
tech will be more, I don't want to say dangerous, but it might be like
right. I've
it's
Yeah.
Crazy.
Like, let's take example. I've noticed this with, let's say, the video game industry. So
Okay.
when games recently games have been getting released, like fully released before all the bugs are fixed. Let's take
Yes.
Cyberpunk 2077
Oh
what
my gosh.
2077 for example.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
game, they released that and it was just awful. It was just full of bugs. I mean, just completely awful. And
Yeah.
they're like, "We'll patch it." Took them 2 months to really get all the
Yeah.
major patches fixed. But it's like people are willing to buy a product that is messed up before it's fixed.
Yeah.
That's crazy to me. Like, you're literally spending $60, $70 on this game that you can't even play for like another 2 months because it's so messed up.
Yeah.
And like people are still willing to buy it and try it, you know?
Yeah. And the
And
thing, that's a game. Like, there's no real consequence if there's bugs.
yeah,
But if
I mean,
it's
there's a
anything
consequence to your
else,
wallet, but
well, yeah.
yeah,
But if it's literally anything else, there's gonna be major problems.
right,
Like,
because that's just an example with the video game industry. It's a small
yeah.
like significance, but that's happening in a lot of other stuff. It's happening
Hmm.
in a lot when the again, this isn't the actual game, but we're talking hardware. Talk about the PlayStation 5. A lot of people for the first few months had controllers that were drifting. That like where like if you were holding the controller and weren't moving the joystick, the game thought you were moving it. Like that's an actual
Yeah.
like again, it's
The
just a video
the,
game.
the PS4 kind of had that too, a
Yeah.
little bit.
Again, it's just a
It still
game,
kind of does.
but like it's an actual physical thing now that's breaking. You keep going with more and more stuff. You start talking about cars, start talking about rocket ships, hyperloops,
Dude, dude,
and
self-driving cars, that's terrifying to me. Like, I like having control over a vehicle,
yeah,
but with self-driving cars being a thing,
yeah, it's kind of
that's terrifying.
it's scary. Um, what I'll say on that is not in the next 10 years, but in the next few decades, I think driving is going to start becoming more obsolete. Where
Yeah,
like
I think so too.
you're gonna hop in a car, and it's just gonna drive you. It's gonna do it itself. You're not gonna need
Yeah.
to know how to drive, which is
Yeah, and
scary.
yeah, and it's
That's
gonna be
scary
like
to me.
all electric stuff too. So
Biden said that by 2030 he wants half of all new vehicles sold to be EVs.
I think it'll happen sooner than that, to be honest. And
I
it's
don't
super
I don't
sad.
think so. I don't think he'll get there. I don't think he'll get there because some car
Okay,
companies
so
won't.
yeah, Dodge won't. I know that for a fact.
Ford, now
Uh,
I know Ford said they would. Ford said they
yeah,
would.
Ford will. It looks like GM is because their trucks, their even their Corvettes. I'm super sad about that. Like even their Corvettes will go in. Like and then
Lamborghini's doing it,
yeah, yeah, Lamborghini is.
which is like insanely kind
Yeah,
of sad, honestly. It's
I was
honestly kind
super
of sad.
shocked about that. I was super shocked about that.
Now, not gonna not gonna say too much about Lamborghini, but Lamborghini is honestly kind of the butt of Italian cars now because like if you're an actual like Italian car like guy, basically they've all looked the same and sound the same
Yeah,
for the past 20 years. And you
and
only
it's kind
buy
of
and
old
you
tech
only
right
buy
now.
them now just to flex, just to show off and say I have money. There's
Yeah, and
no
it's really old technology by now
yeah.
too.
Like we're talking about, it's just they all look the same, they all sound the same, and they all operate the same, and they're all aimed or owned by people that are just like, yeah, I have money, look at me, basically. So
Yep.
no appreciation really for good car manufacturing and stuff. That's
Yeah,
my
and
opinion on it.
yeah,
So
and for me, I'm a GM guy. Like
yeah,
I like GMC trucks, Chevy trucks, Corvettes, Camaros. Like I
yeah,
like all that stuff. And it's super sad to see like the Camaro is gonna be gone in the next before 5 years,
Yep.
probably.
Yeah,
I think.
I'm pretty sure they're stopping production. Yep.
Yeah, I think it's like next year they're stopping production. Maybe.
Perhaps. I thought it was
I think
20.
that's what I
I
had.
thought it was 2022 or 2023. I can't remember.
Yeah,
Um, yeah.
like that's gonna be gone. Like they just came out with the C8, and that's probably like the last Corvette that will have an engine in it.
Yeah, like an
Like,
actual gasoline
yeah,
engine.
an actual gas engine. Like,
Yeah. Right.
what is happening? like,
Life is changing. And
stop it.
I mean, think about this though. Think about our parents. Like, imagine what happened when people like when cell phones were a thing.
Oh yeah,
Like I'm sure people were kind of freaked out by the fact that like you could carry a device like I bet people were like scared to carry these devices in their pocket because they're like, what if the thing catches fire? What if like something
yeah,
goes wrong, you know? Like,
yeah. Like in their daily, it was always like on the wall or
yeah.
a brick.
Oh yeah.
Like, honestly,
It was a brick, yes.
yeah. And nowadays we have the new iPhone 13. It's big, but it's slim and there's so much tech. It's literally a computer.
Right.
Like,
It is a computer. That's
insane.
exactly what they are. Is just
Yeah.
smartphones are literally just tiny computers.
Yeah. It's insane.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see how big phones are going to get in the next 5 years,
Like they're just getting
even in the next
it
five
was
to 10
it's
years.
so funny because they just kept getting smaller. People were like, "How small can we make these?" And now they're like, "Oh, these would be cool if they were bigger."
Yeah.
Yeah,
Have you seen the phones that can literally like flip, kind of?
yeah,
Like, when you flip it, it's literally a tablet.
yeah. It's
It's
insane.
tablet size.
They're massive.
Like, are you kidding me? I don't want that.
No.
It's too big.
Yeah,
There's a point where it's too big.
I literally had a conversation literally today about the fact that phones, like smartphones, are
Yeah.
made to be convenient, and you're literally taking the convenience away from that by making a phone that you have to flip open to use.
Yeah. Well, I have the iPhone 13, the base of it.
Yeah.
It's not the mini or anything, it's just the baseline of it.
Yep.
And this is the biggest phone I want to own. Like, it's even slightly too big for me. Like, I always have like a pop socket on the back
Yeah.
because I'm used to that. It's easier to
Right.
grab it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I can just barely reach to the corner of it. And it's like, if it's any bit bigger than that, it's gonna be a pain to fit in my pocket
Yeah.
and just to reach all the way across the screen. Like, come on.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. They're crazy.
Yeah.
Um. Yeah. That'll be crazy. I think that I know that several companies are still trying to make big strides in AI,
Yeah.
where like things are learning you as you go and stuff. That's kind of how that works. I
Yeah.
really think that we're gonna start having devices that literally can like measure either our like what we do during the day or like I don't know, somehow they're going to be able to like maybe it's even phones where you put it in your pocket and somehow or maybe a let's say a smartwatch, it just detects the motions you're doing and can get an idea of the activities you're actually doing
Oh heck
and
no.
like regiment your day. It can like you can look back on an app or something and see, okay, like at 9:16 a.m. I made coffee or something, or like isn't that great? Like or 5:37 you took a dump. Like
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Like,
But I really think that AI, you know, is going to get to that point where like it just can figure you out better than
Yeah.
you can figure you out, and that is scary. That's really
Yeah.
scary.
Okay. Have you seen I Robot?
Yes.
Do you think any of that will actually become real, like the technology?
I don't know. Not. I don't know. Probably not.
Really?
Not soon. I don't think.
Yeah, but do you think it'll happen in the next, let's say, our lifetime?
Potentially. I think that not exactly like that, but
Yeah.
I would say I would say stuff similar to that.
Yeah, like I took an engineering class in high school my senior year, and we learned about like the laws of robotics and stuff. It has to meet a certain aspect of it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like it can't harm humans, stuff like that. And we watched videos of like army stuff, and there's a robot
Oh boy.
that can break down doors
Yeah.
for the army.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to know if something goes wrong with that. What would happen? I don't want to know. I don't want to find out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Stop it. Stop making robots that do things.
Yeah. I think just the fact that I think Hollywood has somewhat dramatized this to where like
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
it gives us this sense that like, oh, robots are going to take over the world or something, and there's too many things in place that would keep that from happening and stuff,
Dude, like
but
if we are overwhelmed by robots, we are the most stupid species out there. We literally have
we
EMPs.
deserve to be overrun by robots if we let robots overrun us.
We literally have EMPs. Like,
Yeah, just
and
boop.
there has to be like a server room at least that we can shut down
Hmm.
for all of them to just stop.
The only way we wouldn't be able to do that is if we essentially created true AI, like
Yeah.
Age of Ultron. Ever seen Age of Ultron?
Yeah.
They make true AI, and then he creates an entire army that's set to completely destroy all of humanity because humanity's stupid.
Yeah.
That's essentially.
I actually saw something about that a while ago. I forget when it was, but it was talking about if true AI could actually be a thing.
Yeah,
And I forget what they determined, but to actually think
I
if
would say
something like
no.
that could happen,
It's not possible.
you don't know that.
I don't believe it's possible. I don't believe that AI will
I'm hoping
like
it's not.
true AI will ever truly exist.
Define true AI in this.
True AI is consciousness, essentially one's own a state of consciousness completely free of any coding or systematic like control in
Okay.
any way. Complete free will, essentially, and
Okay. Yeah.
complete
That.
free thinking. Free will, free thinking is
Okay.
essentially what true AI would be.
Yeah. I I saw something a while ago, and it was like how much like so if you show AI like a picture of, let's say, a cow in like a field or something, it can detect that that's a cow. But if you put a cow in like a city, it doesn't know what it is. Like, I'm wondering how much that will progress. Like, if they can actually determine like what we can do it at like a screen or something like that.
If you do enough programming and like learning and stuff, you can. I
Yeah,
think you could do it now, but
probably.
um, yeah, basically, you know, there's always some level of programming though that is backing up the learning of a robot.
Hmm.
To some extent, there is some kind of programming that causes it to do that. True AI is like no programming needed. It learns freely on its own. So I would say I think it'll. I mean, our phones already recognize our faces. Like, you
Yeah,
know,
our faces, our fingerprint,
yeah. It's.
uh,
I really think
our
that
voice.
you know. I think if you know, you could put two images. Eventually, it'll get to a point, I think, where you can put two images next to each other and change one pixel of that image, and it'll be able to pick it out eventually.
Yeah, eventually, yeah.
Yeah.
What are you most scared of when technology is progressing?
You know, um, I guess because everybody, like everybody's just nervous about new things.
Yeah,
There going to be new things that come out, and there's always going to be pushback. Everyone's always going to be like, well, I don't know. Um, I think for me, what scares me is like I was talking about earlier, where people will buy or do or interact with technology in with new technology that hasn't been well tested, and people end up dying because of new technology that has not been fully developed, that people are like, oh yeah, this will be all right, this is safe, when it's
yeah,
really not. um as far as the sci-fi stuff where it's like, oh, the robots are going to take over all that, I don't think any of that is going to happen.
yeah,
That's not even, I don't think that's even possible. But just the fact that people are willing to invest and buy in things that have not shown that they can be safe or not is probably that, or the fact that um, people, either private companies or the government, could access possible could start having more and more access to data and information about us that
hmm
we didn't know they had access to, basically.
yeah,
um, but I think, at this point, I've seen the shows where somebody commits a murder, and you see the steps in which the FBI goes through and finds these people, and it's
yeah,
like we're already at a point where we have little to no privacy.
yeah. We don't
There
have
are
any.
cameras everywhere. If the FBI needs to, they'll find people, and it's essentially just, we're already at that point where the government has more information on us than we're comfortable with. And for me, that's just kind of I'm like, all right, that's the society I live in. I can't
Yep,
change that. So
pretty much.
I'm not really too afraid of that even.
Yeah, like they've had that for a while.
Right.
Like we we haven't had privacy from like the government and stuff for a long time.
Yeah.
That's nothing new.
No, it's just the way it is.
Yeah, I'm most scared about self-driving cars. That's what I'm most scared of.
Yeah.
Like,
You know?
you don't have any control, and we are a species that likes having control. Like, we literally talked about that in church today. Like, we we constantly like having to be in control when it's in driving and like relationships that we're in, just in life. And we are not patient at all when it comes to any of this stuff at all.
Not even a little bit.
So when it comes to self-driving cars, like we don't make any choice that it makes. Like, have you been on like the websites for like self-driving cars where it's like hit like a family of five or hit a thief or something like that? Like, how does it know like if this person is a thief, or who are you to decide like which life is more valuable or something like that?
Yeah.
Like, would you kill the people in the car before you kill someone else?
Yeah.
Like,
Crazy stuff.
Yeah. Like if it didn't have a choice, and it's crazy,
Yeah.
and you wouldn't have a choice about it.
Well, the thing is, here's the thing. It's, you know, if you make self-driving cars that work right, and everybody has a self-driving car,
Hmm.
then like you'll never have to worry about car crashes because of that. Is essentially the theory on that. However,
Yeah.
you'd have to make all the self-driving cars work perfectly. You'd have to
Yeah.
make sure there are
He
no other
won't
vehicles.
technically.
You'd have to make sure there are no other vehicles being driven on the road, which I'm sure would
Is
still happen.
impossible.
I'm sure is 100% possible. You're not going to be
They
able to
would
control that.
they would literally have to ban every vehicle that has manual driving in it,
Yes,
and you would have to smash all of them.
right. And they're not going to do that.
No,
There's no way they won't do that. So,
no. We won't allow it. The American people won't allow that
they
to
would
happen,
not allow it.
especially us call guys.
Yeah, but yeah, that's new technology.
Yeah,
Crazy stuff.
yeah. I'm not looking forward to it.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
Well, thanks everybody for listening. Like, comment, subscribe. Uh, and if you are nervous or scared about something of future technology,
Let us
tell
know.
us. Tell us. Let us know what scares you about the future via technology. Obviously, other
It's
stuff.
just technology.
Other stuff in the future is scary too, but we won't. We're not concerned about that. So it'll be
We're only concerned about technology.
only technology. Only, yeah. Nothing else. Nothing else. All right, y'all. Well, we're gonna get on out of here. Thank you all for listening, and we'll talk to you later. Peace.
Peace.